thanks for putting a little spirit. Good morning. Yeah, I don't know, I read it somewhere, so it must be true, that you can say the same old prayer over and over again, but if you say it with gusto and meaning, God hears it. And I kind of feel that way about this song. I mean, if we're going, this is the day, oh my God, the day. But when you sing it with gusto and with joy, it just stirs up all the cells inside your body and gets us going. So, yay, yay, God. Eric, can I get a hymnal? I forgot to get one. I don't remember I know what the first song is. I just don't remember the words to it. So anyway, I can see that you're all friends, so you don't have to get me to introduce you, but I am Claudia Chandler, and I am so delighted to be here today. And hey, Chinese New Year, first day of the new year. So guess what? If you've already broken your resolutions from January 1, it's a do-over. I'm going to eat better foods. I'm going to exercise more. Same thing every year, but as I said, do it with gusto. Okay, so this is the year of the rabbit. I don't know how many of you are rabbits. You were born in 1951, you're a rabbit. No rabbit over there, Della? No rabbit over there, that's a dragon. Okay, well, I'm a rabbit. You're a rabbit? Oh, another dragon. Anyway, and I know Karen's a tiger. So anyway, good news. Because it's the year of the rabbit, 2023 is predicted to be a year of hope and of peace. It's refreshing, isn't it? We could use a little peace and a little hope for 365 days. And especially a little bit of calm after those storms we've been having. It's nice that we're going to have, at least we here in Sacramento, I don't know about you where you are, 7 days of sunlight, sunshine, a little wind, but at least it'll dry out all the lakes that people have now enjoyed in their backyards that weren't there 9 days ago. So, whether you are on Zoom or in the room, thank you for joining. As we say, we know who you are. You are a child of God. And it is this consciousness that you bring here, a part of ours. Together we create that joy, that love, that peace that can only be divine, that can only be from God. So as we say, and as Jesus our Wayshore said and told us to say, he affirmed for us, when two or more gather in my name, there I am. Breathe in that. There I am. And I love that you're on Zoom. I just wish you were here. I just miss you. I know my sister Lillian can't be here. And I know some of you are not here because of health challenges. So I am also very, very grateful that we have the technology of Zoom so you can join together in our consciousness. Okay, here's the commercial. If you'd like to know a little bit more about Capital City Unity, check out our website at capitalcityunity.org. There you'll find a link to all of our meditations and our lessons, in case you missed them, in case you need to go to sleep at night. I mean, that was for the meditations, not the lessons, of course. I mean, our lessons are so vibrant, the meditations. a way to donate, and also, very importantly, a way to connect with us if you would like prayer. For those of you who like to plan ahead and have a hymnal, we are going to be singing 206, This Is My Song. 356, I've got Peace Like a River, and This Little Light of Mine. And if you don't know the words to that because you didn't go to camp, Eric's going to flash them up on the screen for you. And then at the end, we're going to be singing, because we need it so much, Let There Be Peace on Earth, which is number 3 in your hymnal. So today, the daily word. I love the daily word. It's so powerful to bring us together in consciousness. You know, whether you're sitting in your home at night or in the morning and you read it, remember, you're not alone when you read it. We're all reading it together to lift us up. So today's daily word is power. My thoughts and words reflect my divine inheritance. Just think about that. Think about those words. My thoughts and words reflect my divine inheritance. When I listen to my inner conversation and recurring thoughts, I may hear fear-based, limiting thoughts, jabber, jabber, jabber. Or I may hear positive words encouraging me to live joyfully and confidently. The choice is mine. What are you choosing? Through my divine gift of power, I take command of my thoughts in my life. I release thoughts of powerlessness. And as I do, my negative self-talk diminishes. I wonder, did you think you were the only person that had that negative self-talk little voice that jabbers at you? I affirm my divine inheritance of faith, wisdom, understanding, and strength with my thoughts, words, and actions. The power to live a full life is mine. I embrace insights I've gained through experience. I own my mistakes without shame or embarrassment. That's a bit powerful. Let me read that one again. I own my mistakes without shame or embarrassment. I'm eager to learn. I'm willing to try new things and stretch myself. In power, in divine power, I thrive. And from Proverbs 18:21, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Very powerful. Thank you. What a great daily word for today. And so now we come to those affirmations that we know at the core of our being. We say them here to unite us, to unite our consciousness, and to remind us of who we are. There is only one presence, one power, one love active in my life. God the good, omnipotent. So let's affirm that together. There is only one presence, one power, one love active in my life. God the good, omnipotent. Those are more than words, my friends. That's a personal mission statement. Take it into your heart. Live it. And so for those that we love, because that's what we're here to do, love, for those that we love, that we hold in our heart, that we see in our mind's eye, and for the names of the people and the pets in the prayer box, we'll say those words for them. There is only one presence, one power, one love, active in your life. God the good, omnipotent. Together, there is only one presence, one power, one love, active in your life. God the good, omnipotent. Let that touch you at the core of your being. I know you. I know that you love so deeply sometimes that it hurts. I know that you love so deeply that if you could give your life, you would for those that you love. And yet, really, the best thing we can give is prayer. See them whole. See them for who they really are. Children of God. And for our world, our wonderful, beautiful little blue planet where people just don't seem to be able to get along, let's say for our world and the people who inhabit it, there is only one presence, one power, one love, active in this world today. God the good, omnipotent. Together, there is only one presence, one power, one love, active in this world today. God the good, omnipotent. Do not judge by appearances, but judge by righteous judgment. The Bible tells us that. And it's hard to do sometimes when we hear the news, when we see or hear about violence. But we have to hold that in consciousness, that we are all love, and we are all one. Thank you, Mother, Father, God, for watching over us, for loving us even in our human foibleness. And as we unite in prayer today, we know that the divine presence is within us, healing us, transforming us, renewing our mind and our body, just as it is in the minds and bodies of our loved ones and of the world. We are not alone. Thank you, God. Amen. So now for the announcements. I'd like to introduce Jackie, our prayer chaplain. She's here. If you have a prayer, she's pretty powerful with that. And if you have something that you are bursting with joy about, she's pretty good at listening to that too. Because affirmations are as good as prayers, right? And acknowledgement and gratitude is very powerful. If you want to get a hold of Jackie, just email capitalcityunity@gmail.com. Attention, Jackie, and she will pray with you via email or even set up a time to call and talk with you. So thank you, Jackie. Thank you for your ministry. Okay, I have a bit of Zoomers housekeeping here. So the rest of you just do whatever. Zoomers, for Carolyn's talk today, you will want a piece of paper and a writing utensil. That's all I'm going to tell you. I'm sorry you can't be here because you would have gotten a white stone, but a piece of paper and a writing utensil would be just as powerful because it's your consciousness. And let's see, Karen accosted me as I walked in. Karen, the book pimp, and she's given me the Daily Word is in Yahoo. So the Daily Word, $5, less than you can get it on the newsstands for January and February. Don't wait until she's got leftover ones for February to get them for $2.50. I mean, come on, you are prosperous. You can afford it. And you know what? You can afford one to buy your friends, you know, if they're not getting the Daily Word. There you go. Phil's book is putting it all together. And he does a pretty good job of just telling us about the 5 major religions and how they fit together. You know, I'm going to say, and I hope he's not on, I don't want to insult him, it's kind of like the Cliff Notes. You know, it's not a deep dive. You don't get 500 pages on each religion. I mean, he does a pretty good job in about 15 pages covering each: Islam, Judaism, whatever. There's 5 of them in here. I read it a while ago. And then, because sometimes the best way to learn is through the eyes of a child, this book is called I Wish You More. And she has this back here. She felt that it went with the lesson today. So thank you, Karen, for your ministry and your thoughtfulness. Okay, stay seated and pick up your hymnal. And we are going to sing This Is My Song 206. I have a slow time getting to the pages, so we'll just give you a minute in case you're slow like me. 206, This Is My Song. And Eric is going to deaden my mic. I love this song. I love the words to this song. I love it because it's asking God for protection and prosperity, that we be safe and have fulfilled our heart's desire. And yet we're not just asking it for ourselves, but for others to receive that same safety and heart's desire fulfillment. Whether we know them or not, we are asking for all people of earth's kingdoms to be safe and prosperous. So as you breathe in slowly and steadily, I invite you to clear your mind and just focus on your breath. Easier said than done, you might think to yourself as your monkey mind chatters away like a 3-year-old child. So maybe try this. I invite you to imagine a bag sitting in your lap. Maybe the bag is paper, maybe it's a color, or maybe it's cloth, velvet, or silk. And now take anything that's distracting you and put it in your bag. Today's to-do list, the menu for the dinner party you're giving, the errands that you need to run, the mindless chattering and jabbering that plays in the background. And once you've put it in your bag, just set the bag on the floor next to your feet. Trust me on this, you can pick it up later. It will be there when we're done. But for now, just put it aside and refocus your attention on your breath. Breathing in to a count of maybe 4 or 5. And exhaling twice as long. And with your inhale breath, say quietly to yourself, or maybe in your mind, I am. And as you exhale, say or think, one with the one. I am one with the one. Let your breath take you deeper into that oneness. I am one with the one. Maybe imagine a warm light hovering about 6 inches above your head and then dropping down and enveloping your body like a soft shawl or a warm blanket. Let that white light warm you. I am one with the one. You know, you are literally made of stardust, particles of the universe. Doesn't that lend more meaning to your affirmation? I am one with the one. It's kind of similar to the analogy of that a cup of ocean water contains everything in the ocean except the vastness of it. The water in the cup and the ocean are one. The cup of water is you. The ocean is God. We are made from the essence of God. We may not have the vastness, but we are all that God is. And most of that is love. Jesus said, "Is it not said ye are gods?" Isn't that enough proof of who you are? Surely you would not doubt Jesus. Take yourself deeper, deeper into that relaxing state, using your breath, the music, and your affirmation. I am one with the one. Know that there is nothing that you can do to separate yourself from God, for you are one with the one. The key is to be still, and in the stillness, you will know God. You will know love. You will know peace. And not only are you one with the one, you are one with all. Think about it. I am one with the one, and I am one with all. As you reflect on who you are, who you really are, I'd like to read you a poem by Mary Oliver. It's called The Summer Day. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar right out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, the one who is gazing around with enormous and complicated eyes. Now, she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now, she snaps her wings and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have been doing? Doesn't everything die at last, and maybe too soon? Tell me, what do you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? What do you plan to do with your one wild and oh so precious life? Now I invite you to take another deep cleansing breath and remain seated as we turn into our hymnal to page 356, your post-meditation song, as we prepare for Carolyn's lesson. 356, and it's called I've Got Peace Like a River. Yay, God, huh? Whew, okay, we're done. No, not really. It is my great pleasure to introduce my friend, Carolyn. Carolyn is, I think you can read it in the bulletin, but just to kind of recap in case you didn't read your bulletin and you're not prepared for the test, Carolyn came down from Reading, where she was the minister up there for 8 years, Carolyn? 8? And a member of the Unity Reading Church from years before that. And so we are so delighted that she moved into the Sacramento community and said, yes, I'll come and talk. I'll come and talk once a month. Now, I have it on the best authority. The board's trying to move that to 2. So be on your best behavior so that we can, like, encourage Carolyn to come back. You guys got the roses, right, that I said to throw at her when we were done? Anyway, Carolyn, come up here. My little friend Carolyn, who's littler than I am. All right, we're in for a treat because we're going to do white stones.
Oh,
because
yes.
she knows how to do this ceremony. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but you'll tell me, right?
I will tell you, yes. Well, I do love being here. I just love each of you so much, and I just feel warmly welcomed and loved when I'm with you. And you who are with us from afar, whom I've never met, thank you for being with us. I really appreciate that. I love to sing, but this morning I was lip syncing because, as you can sort of hear, I have a funny voice, and I thought, if I sing, I'm not going to have much voice left at all. But there was something about just listening. And I swear, I could hear each of your individual voices, and it just felt so beautiful. Peace like a river, or, your country is just like my country. We have the blue skies. Aren't they beautiful songs this morning? Yeah. Well, I was looking very, very forward to being here today. I love ritual. And I always like it when somehow or another we can turn ritual into a part of our Sunday services. And so this morning is our White Stone ceremony, which is a bookend to the Burning Bowl ceremony that you had on New Year's Day. And in our Burning Bowl ceremony, we release all that no longer serves us. And today we're going to claim who we are. So let's just talk a little bit about this white stone that we're going to be using together. There are 99 places, supposedly, in the Bible that talk about stones. And there are a few that talk about names on stones. But there is only one place in the scriptures, Hebrew scriptures and New Testament, that talk about a white stone where a person is given a name. Isn't that pretty amazing? And that verse comes from the book of Revelation. Revelation was written by an early Christian prophet named John. And it was not the John who supposedly wrote the book of John, and it was not the John that wrote the letters of John. But he was a man that got a calling. And the verse that we're going to be looking at today, which is in Revelation 2:17, was spoken to a large city of people, where part of the people were Christian, and part of them were pagans who worshipped Zeus. And the Christians and the pagans didn't seem to have any difficulty with each other about that, but John did. And John listened to God, and he thought that because the Christians were practicing spiritual adultery by respecting the pagans, that he needed to give a message on toleration. And so he reported to the people what he heard the risen Christ saying. And it is in Revelation chapter 2, verse 17. And this is what it says. Let anyone who has an ear listen to what Spirit is saying to the churches. To everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna, and I will give a white stone. And on the white stone is written a new name that no one knows except the one who receives it. So if you listened carefully, you will hear that in this verse, we are given both action steps and promises. And our first action step is to listen. Remember, if you have ears to hear. And the listening that's being talked about here is to quiet that monkey mind, that 3-year-old mind that Claudia spoke to us about, and to quiet it enough that with our inner ear, we can hear the voice of Spirit speaking to us, giving us guidance, leading us on every step of our spiritual path. So our first action step is to listen. And he is saying to listen to our thoughts and to act from our thoughts. Because in this verse, the word churches is used, and metaphysically, the word churches means our thoughts. So when God is speaking to the churches, in our way of understanding things metaphysically, we know that God is speaking to and through our thoughts. Our second action step is to conquer. Remember, the verse said that the white stone will be given to those who conquer. To conquer is to overcome, to surrender to. And what we're talking about in this verse is to overcome our error thinking. Lots of times the Bible talks about the enemy, especially in the Old Testament. And Paul talked a lot about the enemy. In unity, we know the enemy is nothing more than our error thinking. Those thoughts that separate us from Spirit, those thoughts that separate us from each other. So when we conquer, we overcome our error thinking, and we release, like we did in the burning bowl ceremony, all that is not in alignment with our highest and best, all that keeps us from the kingdom. And you remember that Jesus told us that the kingdom is ours, and that kingdom is within. It's right in here. It's within our own hearts. And when we release our error thinking, we connect with our higher selves. I don't know about you, but sometimes I can get into being judgmental, or I can get into feeling sorry for myself, or I can look at the world and I can say, oh my gosh, how will things ever become peaceful? And when my thinking goes in that direction, I'm separate from my own heart. I don't feel good. I love to use the word yucky, so I'll just say, I feel yucky. I feel that I am not connected to that higher, best part of me, and to that part of the greater me, which is God. And when I'm separate from myself, I get a tone to my voice. I'm not a mean person, and I don't very often say not kind things to people, but there's a lack of kindness there because there's this tone. My kids used to call it my business tone. It's like, girls, it's time. When we catch ourselves in that error thinking, we conquer, we overcome. And so the two action steps in this verse in Revelation is to listen and to overcome, to conquer. But then this verse also gives us 3 promises. First, we are promised hidden manna. Listen again to what the verse said. To everyone who conquers, I will give some of the hidden manna. Now, the manna is our sustenance. You may remember in the Hebrew scripture story of Moses that when they were moving to the promised land, that God promised that manna, they used the word he then, she, would give manna. But the admonition is not to hoard it, because the manna spoiled if it was hoarded. And so it was a lesson in faith. God promised out of grace to give manna every day to sustain the people on their long and torturous journey. Our hidden manna is our spiritual sustenance. It is there every single day for us because it lives right inside of us. But we have to have faith that it's there. We have to be willing to access what's available to us. Have you often found that there is so much that's available to us, but we forget that our job is to access it, to just say yes? Claudia read my favorite Mary Oliver poem this morning, and you did it beautifully. Thank you so much. Saying yes to what is our one wild and precious life. Isn't that just a beautiful phrase? Your one wild and precious life. And our one wild and precious life can only be sustained if we access our hidden manna, our wisdom, our faith, our strength, each one of those 12 powers that lives right within us, in excess, all that we could possibly use, and more. And so when we turn in and access, we are sustained, just like the Jewish people were sustained on their trip to the Holy Land. Our second promise in this verse is that we will be given a white stone. Now, in Jesus' time, and you remember that when Jesus was living, the area was ruled by the Romans. And the Romans were not kind. They were not kind to the Israelites at all. And when people were arrested, they were not treated kindly or well. They were treated very seriously. But if a person earned the right to be released, I imagine there were some she's, but we're not told that, were given a white stone. And this white stone, the person kept with them the entire time, because then if they were accosted or if someone said, "You don't belong here, you should be imprisoned," all the person had to do was show their white stone. And it showed that they were free, that they had fulfilled what needed to be done to be a free person. This morning, when we receive our white stone, it is a symbol to us. It is a symbol to remind us that we are free. We are free because we released on our burning bowl ceremony all that no longer served us. And each day for this past 3-4 weeks, I'm sure that you, like I, have been remembering, okay, what did I release? What no longer serves me in this one wild and precious life, so that I can live to my highest and my best? And if after you receive your white stone, you choose to keep it in your pocket to use like a touchstone, or you choose to keep it in your purse when you reach in for your wallet, you just, oh, that's right, I released and I am claiming. Because the third promise that we have been given in this verse is that we will be given a new name. A name that is just for us. And in our ceremony this morning, we are going to write that new name on our stone to remind us, not only to remind us that we are free, but to remind us that we are claiming something, to remind us that we are children of God. We are spiritual beings having this magnificent human experience, but that we have the opportunity to live from our highest and our best, to live in the kingdom every day of our life, because that's what's been promised to us. So as we move into our new name, we can remember that there were many in the Bible who received a new name. Abram became Abraham. Jacob became Isaac. Paul became Saul. And each of these names, there were more. Oh, thanks. Saul did learn to live from his higher consciousness. He didn't move down on the scale. Thank you. Gosh, I was at another church speaking a few weeks ago, and I was doing the meditation and referring to the prayers, to the prayer box that people had put in, knowing that they were never answered. And I thought, oh my gosh, Carolyn, where was your head that day? So we know that all prayers placed in the prayer box are answered, and we know each time we take a new name, just like Saul became Paul, that is a new name that is representative of our higher consciousness. I have put on my stones at various times things that I hoped to become, like when I was in the beginning of becoming a writer. One of the things that I put on my white stone was writer. There were some times when I was not feeling as happy and joyful as I wished to be. I wasn't seeing all the wonder in the world that there is. And so my white stone said joy. Some people take their white stone and write a name or a quality on the front, and then if there's room on the back, they write a little affirmation for themselves. It is a symbol to us of our process of becoming all that we were born to be. We were born to be lights here on earth, expressing all of those God qualities that are inherent within us, but that we can forget. And when we do ritual ceremonies like we're going to do this morning, or when we do our reading of the daily word, or when we do a ritual of our own, like maybe going down to the river and tossing something in the river to remind us that we're releasing, they are reminders to us. And ritual grounds us. Ritual is a powerful way because we remember the ritual and we remember who we are. So we have white stones this morning, Claudia. And are they in a bag or a basket? Yes, they're in our offering bags. And when you have the bag passed in front of you, just reach in and know that the first stone that you touch is the one that is called you. You could rummage your hand around and may feel one that had a shape that you liked. But remember, the stone that you touch is the stone that has called you. So maybe, Sharon, while these stones are being passed, there's a pen in the bag too. And that's what you may take to write your stone on, or write on your stone. And Sharon, while these are being passed out, would you just play a little ditty for us?
A pen, writing utensil, and a stone.
Claudia found these stones, didn't you? I don't know if they're from your land or where they are, but they have been found and chosen just for you with great love, with great knowingness that they are going to be a part of your process. And Jackie, may I have a stone too, please? Oh, good. My pen and my stone. Thank you. So let's just take a minute, and Sharon, if you'd like to do this with us, you don't need to play. If you'd like to play, you may. So take your stone and quietly close your eyes, and with your touch, feel the texture. Feel the shape. Know that as you were being called to this stone was being called to you. And as you hold your stone and feel its energy and give it your energy, know that this morning, this stone has been given to you to represent your freedom from error thinking, your freedom from any bondage in which you've held yourself. And as you hold your stone, and as you turn within, use those inner ears to listen. What is Spirit speaking to you this morning about your one wild and precious life? What is Spirit calling you to bring forth this year, this beautiful year of 2023, in a greater way? It could be an avocation you'd like to pursue. It could be one of the 12 powers you'd like to express in a greater way. It could be a name that just comes to you that doesn't appear to have any meaning. But as you meditate with it through this year, that will become clear. Don't stress. No struggles. Remember, Spirit speaks in mysterious ways, and something may come to you that you think, no, this isn't possible. This isn't what I would choose. But Spirit knows. So don't dismiss it. You will have this to meditate on. And if nothing comes to you, no concerns at all. Perhaps your job is just to listen. And so you can take your stone home and you can hold it in your meditation, knowing with great certainty that something will come. So as whatever your new name is, whatever your new quality is, comes to you, with great reverence and great faith, please write it on your stone. And when you finish putting your new name on your stone, look at that word, that name, that quality with eyes of love, knowing that it is who you are. And as you look at your stone, always remember that it is process. It is reminding you of the process that we are all in every day of our lives, of becoming that beautiful person that we were each created to be. That light in the world. That light that is the Christ light. That is who you are. So thank you for this morning. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for participating in this process, this ritual that will be one of your foundations, your foundation being God, but one of the stones in your foundation as a reminder that you are, with each step, moving toward your highest good. And with that in mind, for our closing song, we are going to sing This Little Light of Mine, because that is who you are. Thank you with great love. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it stand up and rock it out. Mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the neighborhood, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. My favorite verse. No! I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No! I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No! I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let's go to this little light again. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woo!
Eric, were they singing on Zoom? We have to have a song check here. That is such a great, great song. It's I looked it up because Carolyn asked me, for that song, and I'm like, okay, let me see if I can find it. And found out it was written in the 1920s, but nobody really knows who wrote it. I seem to have lost the last page to my after announcements. Oh, there it is. Well, no, it's not. Not that I don't know where I'm going here, folks, because we're past time. Anyway, it was written in the 1920s, and it's not attributed to anyone, but it is a gospel song, and it's a song that you might have heard your children singing, because it's often sang at camp and all. And I have to tell you that when my 4-year-old granddaughter says, "No, I'm gonna let it shine," you really feel like, damn it, that's right. Let's let those lights shine, I didn't want to make you sing it again because we were running a little late, but we coulda. Maybe we'll practice next time, huh? So as Della comes forward, we'll take our offering in our hand. And know that you are blessing us with your gifts of your time, your gifts of your talent, and your gifts of your treasures. So whether you're doing PayPal or physical checks or, Zelle or whatever, Venmo, we appreciate the gifts. And we appreciate the board that works so hard to keep this church going. We've gone through a lot of transitions in 2022. But it's the year of the rabbit, so peace and prosperity will prevail. And we use your money to bless Eric and Sharon and to keep our ministry going. So thank you so much for your gifts. And let's say together, and say it with meaning, because if you're not going to say it with meaning, just don't bother saying it at all. I give in love because I love to give. Together, I give in love because I love to give. All righty. I was going to ask you to bless the offering. No, thank you. I really did lose my last page. Ta-da! Carolyn, will you please bless the offering? And
Yes, would you like to bring it forward, Paul, so that we can do this together? It is with great love that we receive these offerings that have been given from a generous heart. We know that God loves a cheerful giver, and it's through the cheerful giver that we support Capital City Church in Sacramento, the community of Sacramento, and beyond. So with great gratitude for the gifts that have been given this morning, financially, with love, your joy, and who you are, we say thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Yes.
And now we're going to stand. We're going to form a circle, if we can. Hang on, because you know, people are a little slow. I mean, there's chairs they have to jump over. And then we're going to sing our peace song, which, as I said, is hymn number 3, followed by the prayer of protection, in which we will ask you, I'm asking you now, actually. There's no we about this. I'm asking you to unmute your mics so that we can say the prayer together. So let's just wait till John gets in. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, and we all agree. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And now together we say, may the light of God surround us. The love of God protects us.
God enfolds
Power of God protects us,
Protects us.
and the presence of
presence
God
of
watches
God
over us.
over us.
Wherever we
Wherever we
are,
are,
God
God
is
is
all
and
well.
all is
Thank you, God.
well.
Thank you, Zoomers, for
Thank
joining us,
you.
and thank you, people who are in the room.